Hey guys, Scott here from Rogue Home Cinemas. Just going to take off to another project. We're going to review a new IMAX cinema we've just recently completed. 95% the way there. Really keen to show you guys. So let's check it out. See how it goes. We're in a suburb just out of Perth. Pretty unassuming home, and inside lurks a massive IMAX custom cinema. So let's check it out. Going big means going big on the candy bar and the wine. Yes, this room was really exciting from the get-go. I could tell in the first conversation with the family, particularly Stuart, sort of what vision that they had for the room and how passionate they were to really create something unique. So those first few conversations and meetings were definitely exciting, and we didn't quite know exactly where it was going to lead, either of us. But of course it's that journey of discovery, and really just sort of educating and understanding what's available and what they had in mind. So this space, it was important to actually, they've got quite a large family still at home. They're a family of 5, and they really do love to entertain. They've got a lot of extended family nearby. So we needed to have those extra seats, and we're lucky because the room sort of just fit that 2 rows of seats without too much compromise, and we've got a lot of great seats in the house now. So the design aesthetic was really important, and we obviously really love the design based on performance, which is a darker room. So when the video is on, it's the main focus. But there's plenty of ways we can add some fun into this space. And when we're looking at the screen, it means the back wall is never in view, and there's never a distraction. And color and some real wow factor when walking into the room was really important. So we got that for the back artwork, because the door does enter towards more the front. So in fact you can see this artwork as you walk down the hallway at the home, which I love that, because it's like, what is in there? And then of course the LED, the color lighting can just really highlight the features and add a whole mystique to the room. So the lighting was another really big aspect to this space, and we've managed to find a lot of new tricky little ways of putting lights in, which have absolutely paid off. A lot of work. There's a lot of channels. There's like 40 channels of individual lights, and yeah, the end result's just phenomenal. So the performance aspects of the rooms, really important. Obviously the client wants maximal value for money, and they want to, when they're putting in good dollars, they want a return. Though ourselves as designers and calibrators, we can see what performance is there. We know what we're missing out on if it's not. So it's really about pushing and squeezing to a level which even maybe the client doesn't even know it's possible. So we've been really striving hard and working with particularly the projection manufacturer, Barco. It's a whole new technology. It's laser projection. It's a new chipset. It's even new for the manufacturer. So we're working with those guys with calibration and various software. So that was a bit of a challenge, and we've actually got some new exciting software around the corner where even those guys are hitting new limits, and this room's gonna step up another level again. Obviously movies have always been about the big screen. That's how it all started, and nothing has changed. So we wanted to get a seriously big immersive screen to suit both rows, not just the front row. It still needed to be big for the back row as well. So we needed to explore where and how we could install the projector, because often a projector in the same room simply isn't going to have the right lens throw distances to suit that audience space or viewing distance. So we've actually installed the projector behind the room, above the room behind us, in the roof space, and we've had to then design a projection box and a cooling system to bring cool air from this room into the projection box, and a fan system to exhaust again. So it's really quite complex having to design a completely, dust and cool airflow environment for the projector. That was tough, but totally worth the effort, because we've got a massive 3.3 meter wide screen now in a room inside 5 meters of length, and yeah, well worth it. Yeah, so a room like this can still expand and upgrade. Obviously we know technology is going to evolve, particularly in video and certainly in source componentry. So that's the bits we plug in. It could be a new gaming system, a new Apple TV, and that's all quite modular. The sound performance in here or the audio is all based on some rock solid foundations, and that's actually one of the most important parts of any system, is actually building it on what is fundamentally correct, and that doesn't change. We see people chop and change audio systems all the time, and it's like, well, if you get the foundations right, you're most of the way there. Though we've got many speakers built into the room, we've kind of maxed out. We've got 13 in here, which is pretty sufficient for the number of rows and the size of the space. And we've got an audio processor that's really the brains and the brawn of the audio system. And now the boards, the electronic boards on that are actually modular, and we're actually already expecting an upgrade board in only a few months to actually allow this room to run the ultra high definition standard for up to 8 devices. Currently it's just 2. So we're looking forward to that expansion, and because Apple, gaming, Blu-rays, the beautiful Kaleidoscope player in here, they're all ultra spec, and that's happened just like that, and the manufacturers have given us that ability to upgrade. So obviously the big impact of audio is going to be the bass, and you get the bass right, everyone can appreciate it. And when the bass is bad, everyone notices. Even grandma can experience bad bass in a system. So that's really important. And when you're trying to look after so many seats, we want the experience to be similar over all the seats, which is a challenge because we do have seats on the back wall, so there's naturally going to be a bit more gain or impact on the back row than the front row. What was important is actually calculating and finding where the seats in the room would position so the front and back row at least had a similar signature or flavor of sound. So when we do go to each EQ and manage the sound, then we're creating a better result for all the seats, not just one sweet spot. So this room's got a lot of equipment, a lot of power running through it, and the last thing we need is a nasty public power supply upsetting all the work that we've done. So we've featured a massive toroidal isolation power filter system, a bit of a mouthful, but effectively we've ran a dedicated 20 amp circuit into the room, plugs into the massive power filter, we effectively end up off the grid. So we get the power, but we don't get all the noise and the residual voltage and spikes and all that sort of nasty stuff. We get beautiful clean power, and we've got the projector, the sub amps, the audio processors, all the source components running from pristine power, and that allows us to turn it up to 11 and just hear the soundtrack exactly as we're intended, and the noise is left behind. So MyMax Cinema to me really is all about the ability to escape from the everyday world, get a sense of adventure and even adrenaline, depending on how far you want to push that volume or what soundtrack you might choose. You can really transcend your mood and go to another place through the art of stories and music, which is what these rooms are all about. Personally, you know, I love adventure, I love adrenaline, I love sports, I like pushing the limits out there, and why not do that at home? So there's no other way I can think of actually having that experience at home without having to actually go and do something physically crazy. Hey guys, so thanks for visiting with me. It was another MyMax Home Cinema by Rogue Home Cinema. Do hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can keep a check on the next videos. There's more coming soon.
So the objective of a home cinema that we wanted, that was dear to our hearts, was having a room to escape to.
What was the hardest part about designing this room for yourself?
Well, Scott's assistance was first class. Various points of key decision making was number of chairs, whether to put in a 9th chair or have some kind of functional amenity spot there. But everything else was pretty much straightforward. We really enjoyed hunting for the rear wall art. We googled terms such as 1930s cinema facade, Art Deco cinema facades, built a bit of a short list over a period of a week or two, and then we when we saw this image, we just instantly knew that was the one. After looking into that image a bit further, we quite humorously realised that it's an entry to a ride at Walt Disneyland in Florida, and a ride that takes people around to replicated movie sets such as Mary Poppins and Batman and the like.
Were there challenges with the size of the room, getting exactly what you wanted in here?
There were. The 5 seats in the back row of all the chair ranges that were available to choose from, this was the only one that just fit in with 5 seats.
Into sound, how important was it for you with the sound? Was your focus mainly on the film or the sound, or was it you wanted both at optimum level?
Well, quality of picture, I guess, was the highest priority. We think the room has certainly delivered that, and the front edge technology of the laser projector is performing fantastically. Couldn't be any more impressed. It's absolutely brilliant. The sound particularly, the thing we really like about the sound is the quality of the sound. It's very, very crisp and a clear, high quality sound. I've probably regarded myself as having more sensitive hearing than, say, the average person, but even on a, say, a 90% volume level, the sound level in this room just doesn't bother me at all, and I think that's a reflection of the crisp quality of the sound.
What do friends feel like when they come around? What are some of the comments you've got about the room now?
They just get blown away, and achieve that objective of being immersed into the room, becoming a part of the room, and that's what we really wanted to achieve, and we certainly achieved that. And even though at the moment it is summer, and friends come around, I tell them to bring a jumper, because we will have that air conditioner on a cool setting, and which is all part of what we wanted to achieve. Sight and sound and issues will be left at the door, and also the fact that it's might be very hot outside, but you walk in here and it's a total transition, a sensory transition, is not just with sight and sound, but with feeling as well. And leave all issues at the door. You're here to enjoy the room and enjoy company.